Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Hello, everybody. I'm JD Lopez, the host of Left Hand Right Brain. It's a free-flowing, wide-ranging conversation that I have with artists doing interesting and creative things here in Denver and beyond. We talk about their personal stories, break down their creative process, and what motivates them. Spoiler alert, it's mostly spite. We talk about all these things and more while kicking back, cracking wise, and always having a good time. You can find old episodes and everything you need to know at lefthandrightbrainpod.com.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hey, this is Adventure Lounge. My name's Jagger.
And I'm Zach.
And we're on Real Nerds. Come check out the awesome crossover episode.
It's the luck of the Irish. It's a Real Nerds podcast. St. Patrick's Day special. Woohoo!
There's Mario or
yeah,
Leprechaun.
did you mix your
Both.
Italian and Irish stereotypes together?
Isn't the leprechaun in South Park? Isn't he talk like that? Like really diminutive? I can't remember.
Is there a Leprechaun in South Park? Or are you
Yeah.
thinking of The Simpsons?
No, the leprechaun in the South Park is in Imagination Land.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I got to warn you, the terrorists have already won.
Oh, maybe it is the leprechaun from The Simpsons where Homer picks him up and he's trying to punch him.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought when you said Simpsons, I thought you were going to the one that told Ralph to burn things. Like, hi, laddie, you've done grand, and now you know what you have to do. Burn the house down. Burn it all.
It is St. Patrick's Day, and we are recording a brand new podcast for you. We are the Real Nerds. I'm Ryan.
Brad.
Zach.
And every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we can see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week, Bomb Cyclone hit Colorado. And there was not really a movie we wanted to see, so we streamed Triple Frontier, which is now on Netflix. And we will tell you if you should see the movie after we play the trailer that I've never seen.
Apologies for being ignorant, but is everybody calling it Bomb Cyclone, or did you choose to call it Bomb Cyclone?
No, that's what it's called.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it lasted for a day.
Yeah, you know, you should be as a cop in that.
I don't want to even imagine it.
It was awful.
Did you how did
They did not have the luck of the Irish. There was lots of crashes all over town. Woohoo!
I was gonna say, did you have to work overtime for it that day?
I did work overtime that day.
Shit, yeah. Dude.
Just towing cars constantly.
For the first half, and then so there is this one person who went the wrong way on a one-way, and so I stopped him because I-70 was closed for like 8 hours.
They threw those gates down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so people had to go through Idaho Springs. And luckily I wasn't. The chief asked me if I wanted to be on the road closure or if I wanted to field calls. Well, the roads were like I-70 is closed, so I'm like, I'll do calls because it's more fun than sitting in your car. So this one guy went the wrong way in a one-way. I'm like, I'll just stop him and give him a warning and be like, hey, you can't do that. And so I stop him, and he's already acting kind of weird. So I go and contact him, and he tells me he doesn't have an ID on him, but his name's blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, whatever. So I go back, and when they tell me it's clear not on file, that means that this is not the person who's telling me this, or they gave me the wrong information. So I recontact him, and he says, oh, I accidentally gave you my wife's birth date. My actual birth date is blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. So I go back, and I get it, and it's this license is out of Maine, and this license comes back suspended. So I say, okay, well, not anymore. So I'm going to write him for suspended license and driving the wrong way in a one-way. And then I look up from my patrol car, and I look in his car, and he's acting really weird. Like he's like putting his hands in his head, and he's like shaking. And so I go recontact him again, and I said, what's going on? And he says, can I be honest with you? I said, you weren't before? And he said, no. I said, yeah, I figured. I know when people are lying to me. I do this for a living, blah, blah, blah. He said, that's not my name either. I said, okay, I need you to step out of the vehicle. And he said, why? And I said, because you just admitted to me that you lied to me about your identity, so we're going to be taking a ride to Clear Creek County Jails, and we're going to fingerprint you and figure out who you are. But I can tell you who I am. Too late. So I took him to Clear Creek, and it's under a thing called criminal impersonation. Criminal impersonation is you assume the identity of somebody else to get out of being in trouble, purposefully. So I read him his rights. And I asked him if he purposely misled me by giving me someone who wasn't him, and he said, yes, that is a felony in the state of Colorado. So I'm done with booking him, and he said, I did something really stupid, and I said, you did. And I asked him, I said, well, why did you lie to me? I said, if you have a suspended license and you drove the wrong way in a one-way, your car's insured, it's registered, I'm going to give you a summons to court. And he told me it's because he wanted to stay off the grid. No criminal history, nothing. So you're now permanently on the grid. Because even, let's say, for some reason he doesn't get convicted of the felony because he'll go and plead it down, whatever, I don't care. Anytime you get fingerprinted, you've just been arrested. So don't lie to me is the moral of the story.
Okay.
And so I ended up being really busy that day, and when I came back, there's more accidents, and yeah, and I don't understand why people go out and stuff like that, because I heard it was really bad down here.
I got out to my work area because I thought we were going to stay open. The gym that I go to is right next to it, so I went to the gym and they were already talking about closing at noon. So I went in, did a 40-minute workout. I walk out, and all the employees of the gym were gathered at the desk, like a little hovel. Like they were all like scuttling to that desk, trying to hope to God that they were going to close. So I was like, I should probably leave right now. My workout isn't that important than their safety. So I get out there to just not be part of the problem. I head over to work. I'm still wearing my work shorts, by the way, my workout shorts. So I'm like in these like flannel shorts. I get to
You work out in flannel?
Not flannel. What's that? What's that like? It's like airy material. I don't know clothing, guys.
Gym shorts?
Yeah, anyway, so I'm in gym shorts and walking to my work, and the gate where we have our donations area where it's open and closed is closed. That thing's never fucking closed. So I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I go up to the front, and they're like, why did you come to work? Like, because I was told yesterday that we were going to come in here come hell or high water. And they were like, yeah, well, we're not going to. And I'm like, oh, great. So I don't drive, so I had to wait until I found somebody at work to give me a ride home. So,
and then I bet you had some person, hey, I'm trying to drop off my donation.
Hey, I really want to get rid of this pea-stained couch. Hey, there's peanut butter in between the cushions. I did something to it. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, take my peanut butter-laden couch.
I remember
your
when I
problem
was in the when I was in the restaurant industry, when things shut down, people were like, you know what? I could really go for a Qdoba burrito right now.
Mm-hmm.
It was so busy. People are so silly.
But anyway, so went home. My folks got home after my dad picked up my mom from, she works near the airport. They got back. She's like, we're going to go to the grocery store. I'm like, okay. Should I call ahead to make sure they're still friggin' open? He's like, yeah, sure. So I called King Supers, and they're like, yeah, we're still open, but things are kind of shut down. We can't sell everything. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we go to King Supers, and he wasn't joking. Stuff was cordoned off. There was caution tape all over every fresh area and aisle because their freezers had shut down, their fridges had shut down, and the lights above were flickering like in the beginning of a horror movie.
So it's the mist.
Dude, I took fucking photos and video of it, like cinematically, like I was doing like panning shots of the lights flickering and stuff. And these like employees are looking at me, and I'm just like, Blizzard, look. But then I was like, my dad was trying to find something else, so I was like, well, let's just see if Safeway's open. So I called Safeway. They're open. We go over there. Everything's fine. So it was literally just a matter of over in one area, one power grid got knocked out.
Oh, so you guys are the problem too. Why are you getting it? Why'd you need to go to the grocery store?
My dad wanted food.
You guys are crazy.
I know. My dad wanted
and
food.
then I have to go deal with people that slide off the road and hit light poles. And
try telling that to my dad. He was just like, nah, the weather will be fine. I'm like, and then it starts happening. I'm like, this is fine. And he's like, it'll pass. So.
Then you get out and you look like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
I would have gone out, but the movie theaters were closed, so took away my incentive to leave.
So do you just work from home when it's like that? Or do you always work from home?
Yeah, I work from home.
Yeah, you're lucky.
But yeah, no.
My car is my office.
But that was the
My
only...
circulation isn't helped by sitting down for like 8 hours straight.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely get up and walk.
Yep.
And
Sorry.
you also want to take a break.
It's probably good that we did go get it when we did, though, because there was a lot of food at King Soopers that looked like it was going to be like out of commission for a week because they're going to have to restock now.
Oh yeah,
so.
it sucks.
I understand now why there's a run on the grocery stores.
My
Does that mean I'm not
life.
gonna...
My life.
My dad was at Costco yesterday. He said like the line was outside the.
Was it really?
Yeah, presumably because everyone was so the bomb cyclone. They just wanted to get caught up.
The one thing that I regretted was not once on a car radio did I hear "It's the end of the world as we know it," and that really made me sad because it would have been appropriate.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Anyway,
We did get Corinne did send in an email. This is catching the classics with Corinne. I believe part 14, 15, part 15, and yep, here it is. Take it away, Corinne.
Hey nerds, Corinne here for part 15 of Catching the Classics, where I watch famous and popular movies I've never seen before and send in my reviews. This week, 16 Candles. So first of all, I want to say that the only reason I watched this movie was because I saw the Screen Junkies movie fights over the worst rom-coms of all time, and one of the people was trying to make the case that this was the worst rom-com of all time, and I was like, I've never seen it, and I know it's like supposed to be this cult classic or whatever, and he said something about like, oh, it's on Netflix, and I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna check it out. And the guy in the movie fight had accused the movie of being misogynistic or sexist, portraying like date rape and sexual assault in a very casual and not at all healthy way, and being homophobic and racist. And I have to say that I agree with most of that. I guess I didn't really get the homophobic. I know that like a couple of characters throw around the word fag and faggot, and yes, that's not good. They also throw around the word retarded, I think, a couple of times. So it is definitely not PC by modern standards, and I mean, I guess I can't really defend it on that account, but I will say that that's definitely not the worst thing that you can say about this movie is that they say the word fag or faggot. Yeah, the whole thing about Molly Ringwald's character liking this guy who I understand that he doesn't really care for his current girlfriend, and I kind of got that part, but when he trades her to the nerd for Molly's character's underwear, and he basically tells the nerd, like, you can do whatever you want to her, like, she's totally knocked out, it's fine, like, just bring the car back in fine condition. Like, he's more worried about the car coming back okay than he is about his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, I guess, at this point, but it's definitely not good. I forget the character's name, but whoever the guy is that Molly's character has a crush on, he comes off as like really kind of creepy. Like, he calls this girl, or tries to call this girl that he doesn't really know. He's never really had a lot of interaction with her. Like, he almost comes off as a little bit as a stalker. And yeah, that's not good. What else can I say? I will, like, of course I went into it thinking like, oh, it's got this horrible reputation of, not aging well, and while that turned out to be true initially, it was starting off pretty well. I liked the kind of opening sequence of Molly at her house and, trying to hint to her family like it was her birthday, and I remember her dad and her brother were very funny and said some really funny stuff. And there are a couple of good little sequences there of like her grandparents being weird, and like she thinks like they remember and then they actually don't remember it's her birthday. And I do like the scene where the boyfriend guy is he's trying to call Molly's character, but the grandparents keep answering. And yeah, there are some funny parts to it, and I mean, it looks pretty good for how old it is. But yeah, it has not aged well in terms of its content and its plot. And by the end, whenever the wedding was happening, like, you know, the sister was getting married, and she had, like, taken 4 Tylenol or muscle relaxers. I'm like, who does that? I know she's supposed to be this bridezilla person, but I think anybody who's had, you know, cramps or anything like that will tell you, like, 2 is plenty. 2 will get the job done. Like, I promise, you do not need to take 4. And then she's all, like, loopy and acting weird during the wedding and, like, falling over and trying to go to sleep and everything. And I was like, I'm sure the wedding guests think that she's just drunk, right? Like, this cannot look good. Can they legally force her to do the wedding? Like, I know she wants to get married, but if people think she's drunk and if she's acting like she's drunk or loopy or whatever, can they legally go through with the ceremony? I don't know. It just doesn't seem right, even though that was the initial plan, and I know she wanted to get married to that guy, but it just, why not just wave off the wedding for a couple of hours? You know, the dad could go in and be like, hey, everybody, sorry, our daughter isn't feeling well. She took a few too many muscle relaxers, so we're going to postpone this for a couple of hours. Everybody go hit the restaurants or the bars on me. Meet back here at 4 o'clock. Or whatever. I don't know. But that had to be so embarrassing for her, and I know she was still loopy, but whenever she comes down from her loopiness, I'm sure she's like, really? You made me go through with that as I was? Why not just... I would be mad. So, anyway, I feel like I did have fun watching it, although that was more from like a, wow, I'm getting to see like how bad this movie really is in that kind of a way. Like, not bad as in it's poorly made, but bad as in it does not age well. Although the scene where Molly's like sleeping on the couch and she's in this kind of skimpy pajamas, and then like she comes upstairs later and she's kind of holding the blanket around her. I'm like, can we get this girl some real pajamas? Why does she have to be like partly naked for this part of the movie? I mean, I know my little sister always runs around in skimpy clothes when she's at home, but that's not when we like have guests in the house. Get this girl some actual pajamas if she's going to be sleeping out in the middle of the living room where everybody could just walk in and see her. So, sorry, that was a little detail that bugged me, and I think it's just symptomatic of a lot of the things that you see in this movie, of not treating women, or at least the female characters, with proper dignity, I suppose. So, keeping all that in mind, I guess I have to give 16 Candles 2 stars out of 5. Like, maybe I'd give it 2.5 stars, because I would much rather watch this again, as problematic as it is, than watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So, 2 or 2.5 stars out of 5. So, yeah. Sorry. Sorry that John Hughes doesn't make movies that age better. But, yeah, if you disagree with me, go watch 16 Candles and see for yourself. So, talk to you all next time. Bye.
So 16 Candles, not my favorite John Hughes film. It's one of those ones that I watch, I'm like, okay, it exists.
I've never seen it, so
Yeah, it exists.
I only seen it twice in my lifetime, and it's not one I eagerly revisit. I totally see what, like, I mean, like the slurs.
I can get past. I get past that stuff. But,
You know,
I mean, I don't use those words anymore. But
yeah, it's rough to hear them. Like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure has one instance of it, and I'm like, it's the one weird part in an
I
otherwise
was
perfect film.
on that. In your letterbox top films, Bill and Ted is not in it. You have a different movie from 1989
I'm
in your
still
top
curating
10.
my top 50.
Okay, I'm just saying you're just trying to sweep people's legs. Like, I'm starting to see how you play your game on Film Splosions.
I'm also not eager on Letterboxd to keep sharing stuff, because the last time I shared my love of movies, I got really I got people on the internet very pissed off. So I've just decided to stop it.
Okay, explain this now. Now I'm more interested in this than
when I used
revisiting
to do,
16 Candles.
Well, Brad's seen this before.
Not your review of it, Corinne. Your review is great. I just I'll end it with 16 Candles is okay. I'd rather watch Weird Science. Anyways,
when I used to do Facebook reviews, like just individual reviews of the films that I liked, I had a lot of people getting angry at me for liking a movie or not liking a movie as much as they did.
So what movie made you swear off, like, not sharing your reviews anymore?
I think it was my review of Deadpool, because I said, okay, this is a fine movie, but it's not the end-all be-all of A, R-rated comedies, or B, R-rated superhero comedies. And because I didn't like it enough for people, but somebody specifically said, you didn't like this as much as you liked Hail Caesar, and I'm like, yeah, because Hail Caesar was more catered to my taste. That's probably why I liked it more.
And so that just that would just fuel my fire. I'd be all like, and you know what? And I'd write a whole dissertation on Hail Caesar.
No, because I realized it's better to just keep these opinions to myself or to the podcast, because I have no desire to get into a Facebook fight with somebody at this point.
Just ignore them, like me.
You can just delete your Facebook.
That is true. But
or what I do is sometimes I'll share stuff politically, and then I don't say anything. It's other people just go crazy. It's so awesome.
Well, especially since I've now quit, but like trying to get off drinking, and then now I've gotten off drinking. I've really tried to limit my social media and what I use of it and how I express things.
I just put Ocasio-Cortez there, just like a picture of her, and see what happens. Right wing people are like, oh, fuck that girl, man, fuck her. You know what? She doesn't know what she's talking about. Socialism, pieces of shit. Fuck you. And she doesn't even do anything.
No, she's doing.
I want her to be president so bad, just so I can see rednecks go, hey, fuck her, man.
Yeah, that's kind of thing where I'm just like, life's too short for it, and I do like scrolling through Facebook for news articles.
It
and
is.
stuff.
So you just need to be an ass like me, Zach, and just call people out on their bullshit. It's way more fun.
Don't let them control you, Zach.
There are people a lot more braver than I am. I'm brave in different ways.
You know what? And you know what? Your opinion matters. I'm just being an asshole and saying that you said Bill and Ted's your favorite movie from 1989, but your posts seem to indicate it's Do the Right Thing. So why aren't you doing the right thing and going with your heart?
Because
you know what will never replace my favorite movie? Anything of all time. It'd have to be a movie so amazing that it'd have to take the place of Army of Darkness.
Hobbs and Shaw.
That movie would have to go back in time and change Ryan's life.
Exactly.
And affect
it. And here's the thing.
Forward.
I love Spider-Man more than anything, and it will never take Army of Darkness as the best movie of all time.
I will tell you right now, I have many favorite films because I love film in general.
And
love it
and
so
Zach,
much.
Just fucking own it. Don't let other people control you.
You have to understand this about me. Film is my life. It's nothing else consumes it other than perhaps what I do at work for a 9-to-5 job. Everything else is I come home, I watch films. The only other thing that I can think of in this instance is if I have to help out with a nephew, and that's not a predominant amount of my time because my sister's not down here constantly.
Being uncle's the best.
So I have a hard time narrowing down stuff. Except for my top three, which are Jackie Brown, Casablanca, Zodiac. Those are the ones that I stick to firmly.
Because I like mine. I redid my Robert Downey Jr. list.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I had The Last Party number 3, but through rewatching Zodiac and stuff, I moved stuff around.
You did?
Yeah. See, it's an ever flowing thing.
It is. I had Radio Days in my top 10, and then I suddenly came to terms with the fact that Woody Allen shouldn't be deified, so I took that off my list.
But I'd also say that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is a more fun movie than Do the Right Thing, so I would just keep that as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, not Do the Right Thing. Not my own prejudice against Spike Lee.
Oh my God, Stan Lee's Do the Right Thing.
Excelsior.
You can make an argument that's been his whole life is telling people to
do
the right thing.
Oh, I love it.
I would love a scene where Iron Man gets angry at Captain America for scruffing his shoe and then asking Captain America why he lives in a brownstone in his neighborhood.
How come there's only Avengers on this wall?
Tony's just like, if you have your own place, you can put whoever else you want on the wall.
So Zach, just own your opinions. Don't let anybody sway you. Don't let some asshole like me come in and tell you that.
No one sways me on that jack shit, man.
Yes.
But you know what I will say? It's not swaying. It's I'm open to reinterpreting and rediscovering things. We will be talking about one of those things in my What We've Been Watching.
So, Corinne, thanks for sending that in. I've never been a big fan of 16 Candles, and it is considered a classic. of 80s like teen comedies.
But she brought up that article though, which makes me wonder, like, do current teenagers find it as great?
I don't
as
know.
the
That's
last...
a good question. I think a better example would be Breakfast Club, but even Breakfast Club is.
I've heard arguments
Okay.
as to why the Breakfast Club is not as great as it used to be.
No,
and I understand where they're coming from, but I'm not.
Like I said, I'll take Weird Science and Uncle Buck any day. So, and Weird Science is weird.
And also, I will say the Long Dong Duck character in 16 Candles does not help any argument whatsoever.
Also, I mean, Breakfast at Tiffany's has a really.
Oh yeah, those are the two probably,
But-
like of the most egregious ones in cinematic history that we think about.
But
today,
Audrey
but-
Hepburn.
Yeah, but
She is-
Mickey Rooney doing that thing he did.
Yep.
Not that thing you do, but that thing he did.
I love that thing you do.
And
Ping before ping.
Yes. Hey, big movie news this week. Unspool the real news.
It's real news.
It's okay. Hey, do you know someone's back in charge of the Guardians of the Galaxy, riding the ship?
Okay, thank you for leading that into it. Yeah, James Gunn got rehired for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
All is right with the world.
Yep.
And there were never any arguments on the internet again. The end.
Well, it's.
As you wish, young man.
I mean, the ironic part is James Gunn comes up from Troma, Slither,
Oh, God,
Super.
I actually have a comment on that. Keep
and
going.
so. Come on. I don't even remember his joke. Was his joke really that bad? I can't remember it.
They were just bad jokes that he wrote, and he acknowledged that they were bad jokes. Oh, sorry. He acknowledged that they were bad jokes. So
First fucking podcast. But yeah, it's yeah, whatever. It's. I think they did the right thing by bringing him back because his voice is so unique for that style of film for the Guardians. I think it's probably needed.
It's gonna be interesting to see how he balances Suicide Squad and that, because, like, of course he's going to finish Suicide Squad first,
Yeah.
but still creatively he's got to be, I mean, the script for Guardians 3 is done, but, as an artist you're constantly, like, revising that, so
you're working the wheels and trying different things.
Yeah,
is he going to expend all of his current creative energy on Suicide Squad and then have,
I don't know. That's a good question because he's the first one who's done this, who's doing a
Yeah.
DC movie then a Marvel movie. I mean, Joss Whedon helped on Justice League, but that was a year after he was done with Avengers. So I don't know.
He probably didn't shoot that much. He
Yeah,
more.
I mean, I think more just
revised
cleaning
it.
it up
Yeah.
and stuff, but it'd be fascinating.
Yeah, and I mean, did you read a statement, right?
Yeah,
Like, were you think
Statement's
he's coming
good.
back? Like, the whole thing that like made me feel bad about him being fired was like hearing how he acknowledged these in interviews. Number one, but number two, he was like, "I've grown and learned as a person," which is like, it's meaned a lot to me lately. Of going like, yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing. So like, I understand where he's coming from in that respect, but he like gracefully acknowledged why they had to do it.
Yeah, and I think as a person, you do, and a joke.
it's tough.
It's tough because where do you draw the line on a joke?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. I don't think inappropriate comments are always appropriate, but at the same time, it's. I think if you tweet something, I don't think it's the most egregious thing you can do unless it's super racist or vilifies a certain person. If you're just saying a joke, I don't know. It's tough for me because where do you draw the line?
Right, and like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think anyone should take. If you're in the entertainment industry, people should know that, like,
I
okay,
agree.
maybe my tweets are, or person's tweets are also them trying material out.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, it's in bad taste, but like, if you've ever been to like a local comedy open mic,
Oh yeah.
like people just
Especially
have horrible material,
especially unrefined comedians.
Yeah.
Like you said, the open mic where they're testing stuff out. Yeah.
And the difference, like, for him, like, a lot of times when this happens, the really controversial people who do like deserve to be vilified, it's because they live their life by that statement.
Agreed.
Whereas
and they don't own up to it. They make excuses for
Well
it.
said. Well said.
Whereas James Gunn, not Silence of the Lambs, James Gunn.
Wait, was it a great big fat guardian?
Yeah, it said, like, yeah, I regret doing that, and I'm not that person anymore. Whereas a lot of people who do that are like, yeah, that's what I believe, and I'm sticking by it.
Agreed.
That's the wrong. Yeah.
Right. And his statement further exemplified the fact that he is continually learning and trying to grow as a person. So, like, it's not even like it's not even as if though this solved everything in his life. Like, he's still going to have to keep learning things as we all do as human beings.
The ironic part of being an artist and a filmmaker is you can actually see him grow before your eyes if you watch his early stuff to where he is now. Even something like Slither, which is a fun movie. But if you're telling me that the dude who did Slither can pull off Guardians of the Galaxy, 10 years ago, I'd say no.
I'd say that you can even attest that to Super, which is a very angry superhero movie.
Yeah.
And then you see Guardians, and it's like very decidedly not angry. Obviously because Marvel's involved, but also because of what he decides to put in.
His sensibilities, too.
And then
Or watch his Stephen Hawking impression in Toxic Avenger 4. Even more offensive.
Right. Speaking of his early work, though, Lloyd Kaufman had a comment about this whole situation because he's Lloyd Kaufman and he has opinions. He underlined a picture of an article that said, "Poor judgment displayed at time when he was emerging from the Troma Film Factory." Lloyd Kaufman said, "I was the very first to stand up for James Gunn, who is a brilliant, generous saint. But now, of course, it's all at Troma Team's fault. Suggests Deadline the running dog of the elites. Fuck you, Dead Loon." Mm-hmm. See, Deadline is the name of the...
Yes.
Yeah, and Dead Loon is... You get it?
Yeah.
It's great. Oh, Lloyd, you're amazing. Anyway.
Yep. What else we got? Welcome back, James.
In other news, Toxic Avenger 7 is currently in development. But no, we also actually, I'm going to continue the Marvel news a bit. We're getting a Funko Pop of one of the greatest characters to emerge from the MCU in the past 2 years. Goose the Cat is getting his own Funko, and I'm excited for it. It's pretty awesome. So yeah.
He's a flirkin?
He's a flirt.
He's not a cat.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's amateur hour?
Jane and Silent Bob reboot, we haven't really talked about it, but it's almost done filming.
Yeah.
But they confirmed something that I thought was fun. Shannon Elizabeth's coming back as Justice, which I'm glad because I felt like if they were going to ever tread into that territory again, they should bring her back because I love her in Jane and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Did you see
See you later, you dirty sheep fucker!
They recreated the Quick Stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brian O'Halloran's in it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's Randall's day off.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, part of me wonders, like, superstitiously, is the soul of the movie, like, being able to use the actual Quick Stop in the movie?
Ooh.
So, like, good omen there.
I still like Kevin Smith a lot, so I'll be interested to see what he has to say after his health scare, and, we'll see.
He'd been working on this prior to the heart attack.
Yeah,
but I mean, obviously rewrites. It's gonna sound so like old manish to me, but like I'm like not as interested as I probably would have been, say, 5 years ago. So I'm gonna still watch it, but I mean,
I'm excited for him to be Kevin Smith again. I like Tusk a lot, and I think Yoga Hosers gets a bad rap. I don't think it's that horrible.
It's very in keeping with what he's done in the past.
Yeah,
so.
but I'd much rather see him be silly, but have something to say, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I just hope this has something to say, which I feel like it does.
Clerks 2 I thought was amazing, and it has a dance number in it, and then it has the scene in the jail, which I think is some of the best stuff he's written. So
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it keeps in line with that.
I'd even say Zach and Mary has fun, interesting things to say.
I think so too.
Cop Out said a lot of things. I don't know what they were saying, but
well,
that's
he's
not his
making
script.
somebody else's movie.
It's not his script. So,
a black man coming on Black Friday.
We have a sad death to talk about. Richard Erdman passed away. He was in some Twilight Zones. He was in Stalag 17, but we would know him today as Leonard from Community. And he was known as, on the show, he was a hipster because he had a hip replacement. So yeah, but
Community.
He went through the studio system though. Like he worked early under Michael Curtiz though, and then just kind of kept working journeyman actor. He grew up in Colorado Springs before coming out to L.A. So
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
Big bucket of win for that guy, to take a Kevin Smith phrase, out for a walk. He will be missed. This was something that James, who was not on the show this week, he sent this article to us, so I just wanted to repeat it for everyone. Ryan Johnson's new film called Knives Out has a composer set for it, and it's going to be Nathan Johnson, who's worked with Ryan Johnson before because they're cousins. So yeah, we know who the composer for Ryan Johnson's newest outing is going to be. I like the music in Brick, so I actually like seeing Nathan Johnson come back to do some work for his cousin, so that'll be fun. The last thing that I have here is Marvel Studios is producing a What If TV series for the Disney Plus streaming thing. It's going to be animated, but it's basically all those what if issues that I like looking up on the internet, going like, what if Rick James met the Hulk?
Yeah,
Like,
I just read, what if Spider-Man married the Black Cat?
Ooh, hello. I still hope they do Rick James meets the Hulk somehow. Get Dave Chappelle to play Rick James.
Awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, unless I missed anything, that's news.
Oh, sorry, Brad.
I was gonna say actually have a around town stuff. So
Oh, wow.
You have a round
The only
tab
thing you
update?
missed in news is May 6th at the Bug Theater, the Real Nerds podcast, we'll be doing our live 400th episode extravaganza. Free admission. Please come down and support and boo us. We will be there.
tons of celebrity guests.
To be determined.
Asterisks.
Yes. If by
Over
celebrity you mean me and Brad and Zach and James.
It'll just be me with a mustache pretending to be Burt Reynolds.
Love
You
it.
can all throw things at me.
Did you say admissions free?
Yes.
Concessions are not.
But here's the thing: is your admission's free and the concessions help the Bugs, because the Bug is basically the Bug Theater is allowing us to use their space. So make sure you buy a soda and support the Bug.
Yeah,
remember
do it
our-
for them.
Do it for them. Don't do it for us.
And remember, our crew is replaceable, but your experience isn't.
Oh, all right. Hey, Brad, you said you have something to do around town? Fucking fire up that lawnmower and let's get going.
Wait, he's driving a lawnmower now?
A John Deere one.
Oh, okay.
Riding my lawnmower around town with a country song a-playing. Too bad my dog came home too late, and now he's just a-begging for something to eat from the refrigerator. I hope it doesn't have mold. Oh, man, here's some tofu. It just is really old.
I love how this turned into a story about Brad's dog, which you don't have a dog, do you?
I don't. You forgot to talk about my truck and my cowboy hat, though.
And his truck is broken down. It's a metaphor for his relationship. Yeah. His wife is asleep and doesn't even know he's home trying to make it through the day. Yeah.
I'm married now?
Every country song is a sad song about being married with a dog.
You forgot a lyric about beer.
And his dog is dying at the foot of his bed. Too bad his wife doesn't even care. I don't know.
You just explained in a full
So he went
mock-
down to his fridge and pushed the tofu aside. He said, give me the IPA and don't get it in my eye. It's so bitter and full of flavor. I hope I don't die. Like my dog at the foot of the bed. Goodbye, Bunny. I'll see you sometime. I don't know. Go, Brad.
Of course, that's the only beer I drink. How does IPA shit? India Pale Ale, more like Indian Pale.
I'm sorry I messed up that part. The Coors Light gives him fuel. He dumped it in the gas tank of his broken down Chevrolet, and now he's going to school. His dog is happy 'cause he got the Coors Light. He's no longer dying. He's riding in the shotgun, and he can't wait to come home
pee on the fence.
and say hi to his wife. It was just a dream. His life is so great, and he can thank it all because he drank the Coors Light. The world's most refreshing beer.
You have to say it like Sam Elliott in that case. World's most refreshing beer. Cool.
Brad, that
Also
made
the
no
dude.
sense at all.
Are we done?
Yep.
All right.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
Hey, the drive-in's back.
Oh, yeah, that's
nice.
right.
April 8th. They are kicking off their season with Shazam.
Ooh, nice.
So, I said April 5th? Or
8th.
Sorry, April 5th.
Oh, okay. Well, already you're lying to me.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know where that came from.
No, it's all
Because
good.
80th.
That's
yeah.
okay. I'm a bigger one.
So check that out. And then it's their 43rd season. 43 years.
Nice.
Jesus.
It is $9 now.
Oh.
Oh.
So price went up $1
Oh.
for 3 movies.
I don't know if I
but
can
if
make
they're
it there.
rocking
no.
like Shazam and stuff, they probably have to pay more money for the films. they
Probably.
get.
Yeah. Or the
Um,
fact that, it's a dying breed of chain of theaters and it needs to up its price like any normal business.
what else? Then the Emerging Filmmakers Project is this Thursday.
Nice. Come on,
So
see some
come
local
check that
filmmakers.
out. The Women in Film is accepting submissions through March 20th.
Nice.
So go submit at efpdenver.com, I think,
Okay.
for that. And we're doing the Nintendo quiz, and we need 3 more players.
Fuck yeah, we are. We don't
So,
need 3 more players.
on Wednesday.
We have you and I.
Oh, we played 6 people last time, and
Yeah, but remember that one team that won had, I don't know, like 30 people on it?
they can't win if they have more than 6 people.
But remember, they did have more than 6 people. I remember that very vividly. They're against the wall.
All right, well, then they're cheaters.
So is this place have good food?
I don't know. It's in Cherry Creek, so it probably sucks.
Because I have to leave my training and go straight there. But at least I don't have to worry about I'm going to get stuck arresting somebody. So
It's the Thirsty Lion pub, so
I don't even know where that's at.
it's in Cherry Creek, so it's
You know,
probably
ask
like
Siri will tell me.
insanely expensive, I bet.
Right now, Siri is Australian
probably
on my
sucks, too.
phone. Do you know you can change your nationality of your Siri?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's Australian right now.
Mine was British for a minute.
Mine was British for a while, then I changed it up to Australian. There's also South African now, and actually the American one, she changed her voice. It's no longer the one you're used to. A little more friendly. Sounds a little younger. She does.
Okay. We need to look up who's the voice of Siri throughout time. Like, how does that mantle get
Hey,
passed?
Siri. Who's your voice? Who's your voice? Who is your voice? She's not even listening to me. She said she's listening to me. She's not listening to me.
She's really shy.
I guess I don't have one.
Siri. The Real Nerds Podcast loves you. Nope, she's still thinking about it.
Couldn't find Real Nerds podcast.
No wonder no one can listen to our show.
No, okay, well, she changed it to the whole thing. I couldn't find Real Nerds Podcast love you in your music, Ryan.
Siri, what do you think of old Siri?
It's your opinion that counts.
She's so nice.
She's boring now.
Can we get these two to talk to each other?
I wonder if Siri can do this. Do we even need Zach? Hey, Siri. Can you tell me what Blu-ray releases are happening on March 18th of 2019?
I found this on the web for tell me what Blu-ray releases are happening on March 18th of 2019.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
All right. What's happening on Blu-ray, Zach?
All right. One of your favorite films of the year, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, is getting a release all across the board.
My favorite film of the year. Should be everybody's favorite film of the year.
Oh, well, it's a great film that I enjoyed watching with you.
Not in your top 10?
Nope, wasn't. It's in my top 20, though.
But an Orson Welles fucking shit documentary is.
Documentary that somehow might be able to redeem a treasured filmmaker from the past. Yeah, I was definitely going to make my list somehow. But anyway.
No 4K steelbook for it, though.
No, because it...
Lame.
Oh, wait.
I thought Best
Blu-ray.
Buy had one.
This one looks
Just
like it is.
Blu-ray.
It's just Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Can you
Oh,
imagine
4K.
that?
I know, right? I'm because they did
Can you imagine
the Isle
that?
of Dogs steelbook, even though it's still Blu-ray, came out like 4 months after the release date. So
Weird.
I wonder if it's like because in England they have one. So I don't know if it's like
that bums me out.
HMV has to like.
It bums me out a little bit, but the standard 4K has Emily Blunt's just face on it, and I'm down.
Wait, I thought we were talking about Spider-Man.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, Into the
Oh, I
Spider-Verse.
thought you were talking about Mary Poppins.
No, not yet. But
Okay.
we can talk about Mary Poppins because it is getting a 4K Blu-ray, and there's a steelbook release of it as well that you can pick up. The steelbook looks cool. I'm excited for...
Yeah, it's like the original poster without all the words on it.
And I think they're also doing the original Mary Poppins as a steelbook at the same time. So
Are
you
they
get
really?
both. Yeah.
I do
Awesome.
not see that on here. Maybe I'm not... Oh, wait, never mind. Yep, I see it there. There it is. And it's just Julie Andrews floating down amongst the chimney sweeps. Which is not a shot
I
in the
guess I
original
just have a
movie,
huge
guys.
crush on Mary Poppins. And maybe that's what it is.
Maybe just like British nannies who teach people how to live life properly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never forget in that movie when she came down, I cried.
You know,
And I'm like, man, that movie meant more to me than I thought it was going to.
So, ladies, if you want to impress Ryan, float down on an umbrella.
Never. I have a wife.
Okay. My wife.
What if Mary Poppins was Zach and Zach just floated down? We still have a crush on Mary Poppins.
I'd say, go back up.
Boo, you shouldn't have descended. Boo. But anyway, we're also getting a 4K release of Lord of War, which
All right. Lionsgate releases weird 4Ks.
Yeah, they're kind of like trickling their stuff out.
Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, I guess someone really wants to watch Nicolas Cage. I guess I can.
Arrow is putting out a film called Strip Nude for Your Killer.
It has to be Italian.
Yeah, it might be an Italian movie.
That sounds an Italian title.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say probably Italian.
I do love the Italian horror film names because it's stupid stuff like that.
This has got to be like a Giallo film from that,
Has
like
to
the
be.
70s period, which they are really well made. It's just you look at the title and you wouldn't expect it to be as amazing as it probably is.
You have to have a specific taste to like those films too because they're really weird.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. I'm like, and it's mainly because like when I was into Eli Roth, like getting into his stuff, like that was where the influences he suggested out there. So.
Yeah.
Kino Lorber is putting out Far From Heaven, which is a wonderful film with Julianne Moore and Dennis Quaid, and also Losing It with Tom Cruise and Shelley Long. So
it's $22. I am not spending $22 on Losing It.
Oh, I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yeah, you can spend it on I'm Not.
Sure, why not?
Unless it drops. But those Kino Lorber like studio.
They
classics,
go on sale all the time.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
I've never seen them cheap.
I get an email from them like once every 3 weeks saying there's a sale.
It's not even really a Tom Cruise movie. It's a Jackie Earl Haley movie. Tom Cruise is like the sidekick in it.
Okay,
It's fun. It's like kids go to Tijuana to get fucked. I think it's my least favorite Tom Cruise movie.
Also, Kino Lorber is putting out Love and Under Strangers. And in the Shout realm, we've got Ned Kelly, which is a Heath Ledger Orlando Bloom movie. It's one of those. It's an Australian film that like was released just in the in between of Lord of the Rings and Pirates. So
yeah,
it's
don't sleep on that.
Yeah, it's. I've only heard of it. I've never seen it, so couldn't tell you. Shout Factory. But Shout Factory is putting out The Witches, which is a 1966 film with Joan Fontaine. So you can pick that out. It didn't say Scream on it, but I'm assuming it's Scream.
It has to be Scream.
But poster looks cool. It's Joan Fontaine looking concerned right next to a voodoo mask. So
I did read on Scream Factory's Facebook that they're in their warehouse and they found 32 copies of The Velvet Vampire that was previously out of print. So if you want to get it, I own it. But if you want to get it, it's really weird. But the poster's badass. It's like this half-naked woman holding up two severed heads. It's pretty badass.
Nice.
Doesn't really live up to the poster. I will say that.
Shout Factory is also putting out The Deadly Mantis from 1957. You can get that. It's only 79 minutes long, so it's a quick chunk of your time.
It's like the Atom Age monster movie.
Yeah, the Atomic Age. There's a great documentary on those, along with 50 Sci-Fi on the Forbidden Planet Blu-ray. That's really fun to watch because you get to listen to, amongst other people, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and whatnot. And I swear to God, in the middle of that, I heard George Lucas confess to not giving a shit. So that's where you find the real answers, is in those small details. Also from Warner Archive is putting out The Jazz Singer on Blu-ray, the original Al Jolson 1927 film that started the sound craze. I am frustrated with myself because I paid for the book edition 2 weeks ago to get it, and I had to get it used, so there's no guarantee. And now I find out this is already coming out. So
the book one's probably sharp.
I'll have a nicer version of the Jazz Singer, which is, I'm only buying it for the special features that are on it right now. So
it's an all right movie.
I mean, it's important. It's a very important film that is interesting to watch in context and retrospect. And that's all I'm seeing here thus far. There's a new Pokemon movie. Oh shit! Cleopatra Jones on Warner Archive. So nice.
What were you saying?
I believe Spider-Man 4K is not in Steelbook. That just really bummed me out.
Well, not here.
You should write a letter
elsewhere
to Sony.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Be like, fuck you, Sony.
Write it in crayon so they know you're serious. Anyway, that's Blu-ray.
Well, I guess even the Amazon exclusive's not 4K either. They have an exclusive slipcover.
Oh, that holographic thing?
Yeah.
Also, the regular Blu-ray sold out on Blu-ray or Best Buy too. So
is it really?
I'm hoping Monday night I'll be able to get their stock up. Man.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Should probably see it.
Cool.
Probably the best movie from last year.
Probably.
Says me and the Academy.
The best animated film.
Do
you want to play specifics here?
Nope. Best movie of the year.
Okay.
I don't know. I read somewhere that Infinity War was, so.
It's okay. I'll take Infinity War too.
Black Klansman on Blu-ray and 4K.
Mm-hmm. It's there.
Anyway, that was Blu-rays.
Sweet. Brad, what'd you watch this week?
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Oh boy, do I have a movie to recommend to Ryan.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is it French and long?
It is.
Are you real serious?
Yes.
Oh man.
Better
to
die. Years ago, I watched Enter the Void, and I was like, this is filmmaking wise very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a film by Gaspar Noé, I think is how you pronounce
Gaspar Noé.
Noé.
Yeah.
He's a French filmmaker.
Oh
and
shit! You saw this, didn't you?
And so, did I already say I watched Climax?
I just took a guess.
Yeah.
In this film, I am going to make a lot of French people talk for a very long time. Is that what happens?
That's not Gaspar Noé's films at all.
No, this is how do I describe this? So there's a lot of drug use and French people. So
wow, that's
Ryan's
right up
favorite
my alley.
combo.
Yeah.
Ryan loves drugs.
So yeah, I was like,
but they don't like me.
I originally was going to avoid this movie because I was like, this looks like just a bunch of, hey, let's try to play with the weird camera stuff and people partying, which, yeah, not interesting to me. But I was like, I like to Enter the Void. I skipped the 3D porn when he did. But I want to go see a movie tonight, so I was like, fuck it. Yeah, it's at the Sea Film Center, so it's only going to cost me like $5.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in, and then right away, I start off the evening by having one of the worst audience experiences I've ever had.
Bummer.
So the theater I'm in has the first section down below is all like regular seating, and then behind me is the stadium seating, and it's pretty full. So I'm like, cool, I'm just going to sit in the front row, back row, so no one's behind me really, and then it's just clear sailing in front of me. And then about 5 minutes before the movie starts, this couple comes in. She puts her coat in the seat to my left, and then they both sit next to me and just start talking constantly through all the previews and everything. And I'm like, maybe they'll shut up before the movie starts, and they don't. So I move to the second row from the screen, thinking like, no one's going to sit down here but me. And 5 minutes into the movie, one dude, I out of the corner of my left eye, this guy slinks down into the row behind me and then catches me looking at him. So he gets up and then goes around the back. And I'm like, oh, cool. He gets the message.
Yeah.
But then he comes around the right side of the same row instead and sits down right behind me to the right, like one seat.
Yeah.
It's like out of the empty spaces of that entire like 5-row section, like why? And then I find out it's because he's waiting for his 2 other friends to show up.
Oh shit.
So those 3 people are sitting right behind me. I'm like, fuck this. And I go way to the very back corner, like that's the seat in front of the steps. And then about 2 minutes after that, like this couple down to my left in front, the girl is just leaning over to her boyfriend and just chatting, like whispering stuff. And so I have to like position my popcorn bag to like block the view of them on my knee. And that helps. So already I've missed a kind of like the movie opens with it's that bird's eye view you see in the trailer where the girl's like running out into the snow and she's bleeding and she's just writhing and screaming in the snow, and it's like the camera's kind of spinning around and she's screaming, and then it pops up like this title card that says like, this is a French film and we're proud of it, and it's subtitled, so it's like French, and then
there's little like smoke vapors coming up from it too.
Like un sunt regard can.
And then there's like, it feels like, I don't know, 10 minutes straight of just like the TV part of it, where there's like people interviewing on the TV, and like off the sides are like stacks of books of, I assume, inspiration, because like Suspiria is one of them and stuff. Like VHS tapes and books like stacked on either side of this square TV, and it's like interviewing these people who they're not very memorable, so I can't tell if they were. Again, I was distracted from all the audience stuff, so I couldn't tell if it was characters that are in the party later, or if they're just people commenting on like the party scene. So then it goes to the actual, basically the plot of the movie. From there, after you've sat for like 10 to 15 minutes, like just listening to these interviews straight, it's this dance troupe. I think it's their penultimate performance, and they're partying the night before. And they're just kind of dancing, having a good time with the DJs just playing music and stuff. And then, the only amazing part of the movie is the cinematography. It's like there's a lot of like single takes that last for 10, 15 minutes straight. And the ballsiest part of the movie is in the middle, right before shit gets really crazy, he rolls the credits. So, and it's not like cut to black and credits come down the screen. It's like every person who worked on it, there's like a symbol of what they did. So like, cinematography, there's like a camera, and then the name has like its own font, and it's all stylized and like neon and stuff. And it goes through the entire like cast and crew, and then you're like, oh shit, this movie's really short and it's over, right? And then no, it kicks into the plot. So, and the stuff before that was, he floats the camera around each of the characters as they're dancing on the dance floor, and it's in this, wherever they, hang out as a group to like they live like dorms, I guess, dance dorms, and all the characters are just talking about like like all the guys are talking about all the female dancers that they want to fuck, and all the shitty ways, like all the deviant ways they would do it. And the girls are like talking about, hey, would you ever get an abortion? Stuff like that. And then there's like one character who has her son with her. And then after all that stuff and the credits roll, you find out that someone spiked the punch with LSD. So, they all start freaking out. They scapegoat one guy the guy who doesn't drink at all. You find out in the conversations before, and they toss him out in the snow, and he freezes to death. And then everyone else just goes on a worse and worse trip. The mother locks her son in like the storeroom so that none of these people attack him. But then, as she falls down her trip, she, feels like she's a bad mother. She kills herself. The main girl, who's like the only named person in the movie that I recognize, is Sophia Botella. She was in Star Trek Beyond. You follow her for most of it. But the weird thing is, like, the girl who walked out in the snow at the beginning, bleeding, it doesn't feel connected to anything resulting from the story, because I think that was her character, but she ends the movie, like, having slept with this lesbian girl by the end. So I'm not sure who the person who was bleeding in the snow was by the end. Other than there was one girl who was, she was telling everyone she got pregnant, but she wanted to keep it a secret. And then this other girl came in and kicked her in the stomach. And then she came out and tried to confront her again for some reason, after calling for an ambulance and not getting it. And then she like cuts herself a bunch of times. Maybe that's her, like, because you never see her for like the rest of the movie. Or maybe she's the one in the shower, because at one point like someone's just showering because they're like freaking out that there's stuff on them. One girl gets her hair set on fire, and then as the climax of the movie is like the dance room gets all red, and the Gaspar Noé's camera is like just floating around constantly and stuff, and it's technically interesting, but story wise, like, these people suck, and I don't care that they're on LSD and tripping out. And no one's doing anything compelling enough to like, oh, this is a great story. So, but I knew Ryan would love it.
Yeah,
so I talked about it.
Cary Grant took LSD and he just was relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't always make you crazy out here.
Cary Grant's in Climax. It's just like a one shot of him reading a book pleasantly.
Not at all.
Noe's films are not. Like,
I will never.
They're
watch
not plot
that
driven
movie.
by any stretch of the imagination. It's like the only one I've seen is Enter the Void, but every one that I read a description for after Enter the Void is something where I'm just like, I'm not interested in this, but I can see how other people could be.
Yeah, I appreciate that he's like trying to do something different and like push, but like that's called a tech demo.
Well, I think with what I've read about Climax so far, it seems like something that I would want to watch at some point, but I'm also like, every time I watch a trailer for it, like that plays during an indie film or whatever, or if it's just an article writing about it, I'm just like, do I really want to go out to the theater for that right now, or would I rather that be a Netflix release or something like that where I can see it out of nowhere, I don't know, like, we'll talk about it later, but like, that's kind of a good thing Netflix has in its back pocket, is like, it'll make you aware of films that you probably won't drive out to the theater to see.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing I saw was Captain Marvel twice. So
Nice.
Twice more. Showed up to my mom. She wants to be Captain Marvel now.
Yes. Then it works.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it more the second and third times around because I wasn't critiquing it as a filmmaker. I was just along for the ride, and it's way fun. And all the nitpicky things I had, like in our first review, didn't quite matter as much.
Didn't stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I heard They recreated the scene from Speed on the bus, like in the background of one of the shots. I can't find it.
Oh, I don't know.
Or is that just a rumor?
No,
It's during the train sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to watch it again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Speed's a cool movie. I haven't seen that in a while.
That's it for me.
At least I'm taller.
All right, Hotshot, you think you're so smart? Why don't you rewatch Speed and tell me which scene it connects to in Captain Marvel?
Sweet. Don't get too many Dennis Hopper impressions.
And it's not even a great Dennis Hopper impression, man.
I like him in Super Mario Brothers.
I like him in Apocalypse Now, where he's there for like 15 minutes and then goes away.
Zach, what'd you watch this week? Just a couple things.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I rewatched Malcolm X. Denzel Washington playing.
How's that end?
I think you'd ought to know. It's history. I think he's still amazing in that movie. Like I love watching that movie because
Denzel Washington?
Yeah, Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington's amazing in everything.
Yeah, he is. Like this one in particular, like it's one of those things where like I'm not always into a film that's like stretching out to 3 hours long. Like I'm not going to go back and revisit Titanic and Avatar and stuff like that.
With those movies aren't good.
Well, obviously. With Malcolm X, I love going back to it because it shows an actual arc of a man who goes from like one mode of thinking to another one and what that leads to. And there's stuff peppered throughout the film of just like you're going to end up a dead man, you'll be a dead man, and then it obviously comes to fruition at the end. So it's all dramatic layering and stuff like that and payoff. But it's a well constructed epic film, and he's at the center of it. And he's really great, but also like other people around him throughout the film as supporting players. Like it's such an interesting film, and I enjoy rewatching it. I had just gotten on Blu-ray recently, and I hadn't revisited it.
That's a good movie.
And actually, it reminded me of like because the first time I saw it, I had to write an English essay about the similarities and differences between MLK and Malcolm X. So I watched that film because we talked about MLK all the time in like school, but we never talked about Malcolm X. And so this film was like, well, I'll just watch this; it'll tell me everything. And somehow it did tell me everything because I got an A on that paper.
Nice.
Because I was just like, well, you see, they were very different at one point, but then they were very similar up until the very end. So, but anyway, yeah, Malcolm X is it's a great film. I rewatched some superhero movies in something called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anybody familiar with this at all? I don't know. Anyway,
educate us.
Started out with Iron Man, which is a 5-star film. I've never seen that back in 2008, and it's still a great film.
That's amazing.
Then went to The Incredible Hulk, which is a 3-star film, and I still stand by that. That movie is fun.
Did you watch them in order?
I did.
Did you watch Iron Man 2?
No, theatrical release order. So Iron Man first, and then Incredible Hulk because they came out a couple months later.
And then did you watch Iron Man 2?
I did, yeah.
Does Iron Man 2 seem better after you watch Incredible Hulk? Because it did to me.
Barely. No. But yes, it does. I think it's because when you're watching it right after it,
because of the Justin Hammer dance. I think
it is the Justin Hammer dance, but it's also the fact that it has a better idea of what it wants to do. You know what the problem is for me is like Incredible Hulk isn't as sure of what it wants to be, whereas Iron Man is sure of what it wants to be.
Because it has Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Well,
I think Robert Downey Jr. is a huge anchor in a film.
But in terms of story, like Incredible Hulk. And I know part of it's because it was mishandled in the edit and stuff like that, and Edward Norton did whatever he fucking does with behind-the-scenes stuff, but it feels less assured of what it wants to be as a Hulk movie, which, you know, we talk about Ang Lee's Hulk as if it's a bad thing, but, like,
it is.
I want to rewatch it, like, because at least it tries something interesting with that character, whereas The Incredible Hulk is just an action movie by Louis Leterrier.
I've never had a problem with Iron Man 2.
Neither
other than when do the lasers stop?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, there's some like awesome scenes in Iron Man 2. I think the flight through the Stark Expo is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's got some fun stuff in it. I'm still always unsure of how you create an element out of a table. Like, I don't know because all he does is
use Captain America's shield.
Yeah, no, but he uses that to make a reactor to create the element.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like when he looks at it and then scans it in the computer. Is he just looking at like how a proton is formed and stuff like that? Like, is it just Marvel science? Don't worry about it.
It's a movie, and I just enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But like, my other thing with Iron Man is like we've got Mickey Rourke and Sam Rockwell, and we don't have them interact with Robert Downey Jr. too much. Whereas I like more interaction with them. Because I do love that scene where Mickey Rourke and Robert Downey Jr. are talking after Vanko's been arrested. Like that. You come from a family of thieves and butchers, and the sharks will come and blah blah blah. I'm Mickey Rourke. Marvel better pay up and open their wallet. And then I rewatched Thor, which for the longest time was a 3-star film, and I added another star to it because I really liked rewatching it this time. I don't know what it is about it. It's not the best shot of these films. It's not even the best executed in terms of story, but I had so much fun rewatching.
I think it's
Thor
interestingly shot. I mean, it's Kenneth Branagh, so you're going to get a lot of the Dutch angles.
It's Dutch angle, the motion picture. This is what this movie is.
It fits because he also plays it up as a Shakespearean film,
and the fish out of water element, everything's askew. But just the way the story flows, and I think it's a lot of it is the actors contributing what they can to this story that's essentially a Masters of the Universe remake.
It's amazing to see how low res Asgard is CGI wise.
Yeah,
back then.
It still looks good on the Blu-ray. Though.
I know it looks good. I always think it's funny. Chris Hemsworth's eyebrows are blonde.
Oh yeah, that's like a Feige regret, another Feige regrets thing.
He still looks good. I mean,
Loki's hair short.
Yeah, he's still handsome.
But I love my favorite scene in that film. It was never my favorite scene in a Marvel thing, but it might be one of my top Marvel scenes of all time. Is when Stellan Skarsgård and Thor are talking in the bar after he's gotten Thor out of jail, and Thor brilliantly sums up his entire character arc and what he's supposed to learn in that one scene, and then they cut to the Boilermakers and have that fun little reaction shot. There's just lines, and it's just the way it worked out. I was very happy with it and enjoyed it. Yeah, and then Captain America: First Avenger, which is perfect. It's amazing.
Awesome.
It's still my favorite Marvel film of all time. This is mainly for me because I do love World War II films and stuff like that. But
it's he criticized it a little bit. He's like, okay, I'll defend my just own it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I love it, but also, is there any reports that Tommy Lee Jones didn't like working on Captain America: First Avenger?
No,
that you're aware of? Because if he didn't, he's doing a good job at not showing it. And the script maybe just seems catered to that, but everything he says in that movie makes it sound like he doesn't want to be there, but it may just be because he's really getting into that character.
No, First Avenger. I mean, I watched it. I think last week. Mm-hmm. Movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you have something to say, now's a great time to keep it to yourself.
I think he definitely thinks stuff like this is silly.
Yeah.
He's still an actor, so he'll do it because he's an actor.
You and I are going to have a conversation later that you are not going to like. My favorite one is probably still when he's talking with Dr. Erskine about who should be the candidate for the program, and he's pointing to Rogers. He's like, "Look at that! He's making me cry."
Still skinny.
He's still skinny. And also Gilmore Hodge, the asshole Brooklynite soldier who pisses off Agent Carter. I love his delivery of Gilmore Hodge, Your Majesty. This is straight out of a Chuck Jones cartoon. I fucking love this whole thing. And also, even though it's CG, I do like the way the World's Fair Expo looks.
No, I think it works for the film.
It's Joe Johnston, man. That's the Joe Johnston touch. It's the way you choose to shoot that film.
It's the Art Deco, bigger than life kind of look to it. I think it looks great.
It's wonderful. It's a fantastic Marvel film that I think, I don't know why. I felt from the get-go that it was still great, but I heard a lot of people having problems with it, and then nowadays I'm hearing people love it to death. I'm like, where were all of you when this first came out? It would have made a ton of money. It made plenty of it, but whatever.
I like it as much as I did back then. It's fine.
Yeah, and then the last thing is I've been rewatching. I'm still continuing the Star Trek TNG binge. I'm almost done with season 4. I had a lot of fun with the episode where Riker gets pulled into an illusion thing where he thinks he has a son, and the whole episode starts with him playing the trombone, and then he walks in to reveal that he has a son, and the reveal is so great because it just shows his son playing the trombone. Hi, Dad. It's the weirdest cut that you see. It just works for great comedy when it's not meaning to whatsoever. It's supposed to be this big dramatic twist. Data's Day, which was fun. I love the whole perspective of it. I would have loved at the end. He's just my conclusion is that all these people are morons and I should be running this ship. And then there was a Troy episode that I enjoyed where she loses her powers or she loses her empathic ability, and she's going through the day having to learn that her empathic ability is not the only thing that makes her a great
being an asshole about it.
Well, I will admit she is a little.
One day without my powers, and I need to resign from the ship.
She is like overreacting to a huge degree.
She is overreacting. Remember your sentence.
She is.
She is a she.
Okay. Troy is overreacting.
That was a joke.
That
was like a Zach Eastman joke. No one laughed.
That's why you shouldn't tell him. Only I can tell him, because only you know how to react badly to it. But yeah, no, I'm glad that I'm keeping going with this thing. I really want to. I want to finish it up because I want to watch the movies now in order after that, so I can pick up on anything I've missed, and then go into DS9 and Voyager, which I still haven't seen Voyager in its entirety. So
I went through it once.
And what was your conclusion?
It was the 90s. It's towards the end of Star Trek. They kind of, when you watch Next Generation and then DS9 and then Voyager, it's like, you've seen a lot of the good ideas already, and then they're just trying to keep that up, and it's hit or miss.
Really, I heard by the time you get to Enterprise, they're all gone.
The ideas?
The idea, like the idea machine's all gone in Enterprise. Is what.
Well, yeah, it's basically like, hey, let's do prequels now.
Yeah, but yeah, and then I don't know, just I like sitting in that Star Trek universe. I do want to watch Discovery at some point, but we'll see when that happens. I'm probably going to get CBS All Access soon anyway because I want to see the Twilight Zone that bad. So anyway, that's all I watched this week.
I've been rewatching The Office. I caught a joke in there that I haven't seen ever, and I don't know how I missed it.
I know.
Michael Scott is pouring sugar into a Diet Coke. That's really funny because he's explaining about how he found out that there's a surplus, and people want chairs, and some people want a copier, or if they don't come to a decision, he gets a bonus. And he comes out and Oscar says, "Do you know what's 15% of 4,500?" And he rattles off the right number, and Kevin goes, "You are a genius." I love Kevin Malone too, because he starts off just in the background, and then my favorite Kevin Malone is when he's Dwight tells Holly that he's retarded, and when he's talking to Holly, he says, "I keep my M&Ms in here so no one can eat them." Or when she helps him pay for her thing out of the vending machine. Well, that's a button. Just like the little things I love. I mentioned a few weeks ago I rewatched Dinner Party 3 times just because I love the character moments in it. And that's another one where Steve Carell is so in tune with his character. Pouring sugar into a diet soda is brilliant. So yeah, it's fun. My little boy, finally, for free on streaming, we watched Show Dogs, which came out last year with Will Arnett.
Oh, the controversial Show Dogs.
Is it controversial?
Apparently, it had a joke that made everyone uncomfortable, and so they had to remove it or something. I don't know. I'll look it up.
I don't remember this movie at all.
It cost $50 million to make. I don't remember it either. And my little boy wanted to watch it because in it, a dog has sunglasses and another one has cucumbers on its eyes.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. That means they're actually human, but they're not.
Yeah, and so the dogs talk in it, but they're not funny.
That was part of the issue that they had.
And it was maybe the most painful 90 minutes I've had in a long time.
Oh, boy.
Kellen liked the part where the dog bit the bad guy on the butt. And he laughed about it for 10 minutes, and then he became disinterested in the movie, too. That shows you how it's not good. He didn't even...
Did you tell him, well, let's have our dogs bite you on the butt and see how funny you think it is?
No. But it's one of those things where he thought it looked fun, and, I don't mind the Airbuds or something like that, but it wasn't even...
Bingo had sunglasses way before Show Dogs.
Exactly. And it's... I don't know. It's so bad, and you're watching going, what is Will Arnett doing in this? And, obviously it's money, but... So the dogs were, at this... show in Vegas, and the set was really poorly constructed. It looked like it was cheap.
This is live action?
Yeah.
Not CGI movie?
The dogs have some bad CGI, like them flipping, so don't watch Show Dogs. Or you can watch it. It's for free on Showtime if you have Showtime.
Yeah, there's a the whole thing was one of the main characters is forced to have his genitals fondled by a dog show judge without consent. And yeah.
Oh, I don't...
the way you're making it sound like that's one of the many problems this film
has.
So.
I don't even remember. It's just not funny.
Obviously that one's a bigger problem, but especially if it's a kid's film.
Yeah, it's just not funny.
Directed by Raja Gosnell, the auteur behind Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah, no one's inspired in this film. I was going to do a Scream Factory Crypt of the Critters collection, but each movie has about an hour and a half to 2 hours of bonus features. So not only is there 4 films, but then there's 2 hours of bonus features for each film. So that's 8 hours. And then on top of the commentaries. So I'm not going to get through it.
Ever?
No, just this week. So I watched Critters 1 and 2 and all the special features.
Excuse me, Mick Garris's Critters 2.
Yes.
I've always wanted to watch them because they're referenced in the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, they're silly. I mean, they're total B movies.
They're critters.
And of course, the new one's coming out, I guess.
Yeah. If you like PG-13 evil eating monster furball things, then yeah. And I mean, there's lots of...
I do.
Ryan, this is all I've been asking for since I started coming on this podcast.
But I mean, Lynn Shay's in them and she's fun. She's in the documentaries. So the first Critters has the longest documentary. It's about an hour and 45 minutes.
Shit.
But it's fun listening to. So the writer of it died about 10 years ago, but they put him in the documentary and he's talking about it. And he wrote it before Gremlins, and I didn't know this either. I thought it was like a Gremlins knockoff. But he wrote it before Gremlins, and then because Gremlins was so popular, that New Line Cinema picked it up and produced it. I mean, they're harmless movies. They're there. Like the creature effects are kind of fun. They're made by the Kyoto brothers, who did Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So they look like puppets, but they look cool because they're there.
I think they did the live action Ninja Turtles show.
And they probably did. It wouldn't surprise me. They're so they're really good at that mechanical puppetry.
So that's what you saw in Show Dogs. Puppery.
Yes. So hopefully I'll get through it. I'm hoping in the next couple days. It's just I didn't expect it to have that many special features.
One of my favorite recent observations about the Critters collection came from I can't remember what episode of Shockwaves it was, but someone asked Mick Garris flat out, did you get Leo for the documentaries? And he's just like, no.
So I shouldn't be surprised because if Scream Factory is going to do a collection, I mean, whether it's Halloween or It's Alive, they usually do a pretty great job of.
Oh, they dig up people you wouldn't expect them to dig up.
And that they give everything a comprehensive look. I think as it gets so Critters 1 and 2 do have new 2K scans and they look actually really good.
Right.
But 3 and 4 they didn't do new scans, so I'm guessing 3 and 4 maybe their documentaries might be only 30 or 40 minutes long. So hopefully it won't take me as long to get through them. And it's funny too. Every Critters movie is 86 minutes long. Weird, right?
It's kind of weird that there's so much love for that one. The It's Alive trilogy that I have and love only has only special features on It's Alive, the first one, and then the rest of them are one audio commentary and one theatrical trailer. Which I'm not going to complain about that with the It's Alive movies, but the 17-minute thing on It's Alive 1, or I'm just I'm sure Larry Cohen could have talked about this a lot longer, but yeah,
it's fun. I mean,
love some Critters.
You know what's even weirder about them all being 86 minutes long? The first one came out in 1986.
Weird.
Whoa.
Demon Portal.
What if it was a coincidence? Whoa, Keanu Reeves.
Am I right though? They're all 86 minutes. I think I remember the reading.
I was looking up the release dates.
No, I think or within 1 or 2 minutes of it. I'm pretty sure
it's an Illuminati conspiracy.
Yeah.
IMDb says the first one's an hour and 26, which is 86.
86.
Yeah. 2 is 126. Weird. Whoops, there's a TV series. 126. Oh, IMDb's saying 4 is 127.
Oh,
shoot!
Fuck.
Oh God, by 1 minute.
Anybody see that scene in Scanners? But yeah, no, they're fun movies. I mean,
hashtag cancel Critters.
they're harmless sci-fi horror movies.
Yeah,
they're fun to watch. If you have 86 or 87 minutes to kill,
the first time I saw the first one was after watching Trick or Treat for the first time, so it was a fun night of just new revelations.
Yeah, I haven't seen Critters in a while, and watching it, Dee Wallace is in it, and she's great.
Yeah,
and it's just a fun movie. It's not gonna blow your mind horror wise, but it's still fun.
Some of the directors who work on Those Who Can't are apparently working on the reboot of it, which for a TV series, which is nice.
And then go ahead, Brad.
No, I just got an email from someone who wants our podcast to be mentioned in their next issue of their magazine.
Cool.
What's their magazine?
Cosplay zine.
Cool.
Cosplay.
Let's do it. And
Nice.
then my Cary Grant. I'm starting to almost run out of movies.
You'll have to find another. Ooh, hello. You have to find another actor to love.
Yeah, I think
Humphrey Bogart.
I think I get through. I think I'm gonna do Kate Blanchett next. Actually,
Jack Benny.
Jack Benny was supposed to play one of these roles in one of his movies.
Oh, shoot. Let's talk about this.
So the first one I watched was In Name Only, which is he's really good in it. I think is it Carol Lombard. So In Name Only. Carol Lombard. So in it, he's a wealthy. Cary Grant is a wealthy guy, and literally rides up on a horse at the beginning of this movie to meet Carol Lombard, who's a widow and has a young daughter. He meets her there, and they kind of flirt. And he says, "I'll be back the next day." They meet again, they flirt, and it turns out Cary Grant is married to this lady who doesn't really love him, and he falls for Carol Lombard's character, and in the process of falling in love with this woman, his wife says, "I'll divorce you. I'm going to go on vacation with your parents to Paris. And while I'm gone, I'll send for the divorce papers." So then the next 30, 40 minutes of the film, it's Cary Grant and Carol Lombard kind of falling in love and hanging out. And then there's this cloud over him that's his wife, who keeps on leading him on, saying, "I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to divorce you." And she never does. And so she's supposed to divorce him, and then eventually goes, "Who cares?" And he goes to pick up Christmas presents for the mom and her daughter, and when he gets there, his wife is there waiting for him. And you find out that his wife's a gold digger, and that she's only staying with him because he's wealthy. And then when he dies, and when his dad dies, she'll get all his money, so he can't divorce Cary Grant, because if Cary Grant divorces her, then he gets all her money. And Cary Grant says, "Then take it," something like that. And
all the money you in the world wouldn't make me want to stay with you.
Yeah. So he gets drunk on Christmas. So the movie is
a familiar setting.
Yeah. So the movie's actually really good. If I always had one complaint about Golden Age Hollywood, is sometimes the movies end really abruptly. They tie them up really fast.
Yeah. Well, it's assembly. There's an assembly line motive to it, but also there is a kind of a wrap it up, because that's not.
It's not uncommon. I mean, it's almost in every movie of his I watch.
Yeah, I mean, like, and a lot of the ones you've been talking about recently do have kind of like they're not memorable probably for a reason to a degree, but like they're still watchable.
No, I mean, In Name Only is a really great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the performances are awesome. It ends really fast, but it tells the story, so I guess it's okay.
I want to actually do a Carol Lombard rewatch at some point.
She's really good.
Well, because I love her, and one of my favorite movies of all time is her last movie. So, but yeah. Anyway,
is it Jack Benny that I'm talking about? I don't know. I know Jack Benny was supposed to play a Cary Grant character.
In one of the ones you watched recently.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to let me think about it. So I also watched An Affair to Remember, which
it wouldn't have been that.
No, it's not that. I haven't seen it in so long, and the movie's really good. It's probably the most classic romantic comedy, romantic drama. Lots of implausibilities in it, but it's carried by the leads of Deborah Kerr and Cary Grant.
Yeah.
Cary Grant plays another wealthy guy who's on a ship, and he's also a painter. And so they're on a cruise together, and they promise to meet at the top of the Empire State Building on July 4th, if I remember correctly. I literally watched it last night.
It sounds like it's totally ripping off Sleepless in Seattle.
Right?
Just anybody think Nora Ephron's a little bit of a thief?
I read an interesting story about that the sales of the DVD of Affair to Remember went to like 2 million after Sleepless in Seattle.
I would imagine so.
Kind of rediscovered it.
Yeah.
And it's a great movie. Not a lot I can say about it. I mean, it's so well known that you should just see it for the leads because they're really good.
Yeah.
The director is
Leo
McCarey, who did The Awful Truth, which is still probably my favorite Cary Grant movie right now.
And he also did Duck Soup, which is one of the most well-regarded Marx movies.
Yeah, so
he's a great comic.
Oh
character.
yeah, no, and the movie's good. It's just it's romantic comedy.
You know what McCarey did too that I'd forgotten about this until I rewatched the Bing Crosby thing a couple weeks ago was he did Going My Way, which. Not a religious guy, but that movie's great.
Yeah. And the last movie actually I watched it second, but it's one of my favorite Cary Grant movies, which I was totally shocked on. It's called Mr. Lucky, and in it Cary Grant plays a thief, and he owns a ship, and at the beginning he's gambling with one of his friends who's also named Joe, and then they get one of their dudes dies, and they get it's just before the United States enters the war, so there's the draft. And Cary Grant's character, Joe Adams, gets drafted. So they gamble on their dead friends not being able to be drafted because I can't remember what he has, just asthma or something like that. And Cary Grant wins. So Cary Grant gives his draft card to the guy who lost. The guy who lost goes to the doctor, and he has high blood pressure, so they won't take him either. And Cary Grant, in the meantime, is trying to get a lot of money to swindle out of the they're like the ladies who raise money for the war effort, the sisters, I forget what they're called. Anyways, so he devises a plan where he's going to have gambling there, so they're going to take all the money from the gambling and give it to this charity because they need $100,000 to send supplies on the ship. And throughout the course of the film, Cary Grant's character Joe kind of starts changing his tune because he's realizing the war effort that people are putting in. And obviously starts falling in love with the lady at the place, and they develop this really cute Cockney rhyming, saying something that doesn't mean what it means, even though it means what it means.
Right.
It's a really awesome scene, and he has this great scene where he talks about how she looks down on him because he didn't come from a wealth. It's an amazing movie, and it also has a totally badass part in it. So Cary Grant decides at the end, he's like, no, I'm giving this. So he gets this letter from the dude's mom, whose identity he took, who died, about how his brothers died on the front line. And so the story's read to him, and it affects him. He's like, I can't do this. These people are fighting. I need to raise this money for the troops. So he decides that he's actually going to give the money that he originally was going to steal from all these people to the war effort.
Yeah, for war bonds.
But the guy who didn't get drafted is like, no, you're going to give us all that money. And so him and Cary Grant have this thing, and then they go in the back room, and the dude pulls out a gun on Cary, and then Cary Grant knees him in the face, and he gets shot. And Grant grabs the money, and the dude starts twitching, and he fucking stomps him on the head and kills him. I'm like, holy shit! And then the ending is really awesome because I'm going to spoil a 84-year-old movie. He goes to the ship, and he gets out of town, and he's like, I'm no good for you. You're a good person. And it goes away, and this girl, the movie opens with her going to this dock every night to see if she's there, kind of like Aquaman. She goes there every night to see if Cary Grant comes back, and the story is told by his friend, and he ends up showing up, and they hook up. It's an awesome movie.
How do you find a way to compare Cary Grant's movies to Aquaman?
Totally.
You found a way.
I did. So I would say if you have $10 extra, I would give it to the Warner Archives to get Mr. Lucky because it is fucking awesome.
So I was trying to look through the IMDb trivia because the three you mentioned, other than Fair to Remember, I have seen. Sorry. So the other two I haven't. Was Mr. Lucky the one Jack was considered for? Because I didn't see it in the facts or anything.
Maybe not. I remember. Maybe I was watching it. I'm going to watch another one where he was considered for.
Okay, I
can't remember. It's an old one.
I want to watch I want to know which one it is because Mr. Lucky, I've never seen it, so hearing that he stomps a guy with his foot, I'm like, that's probably not Jack.
No, I think he's supposed to play. I think it is Mr. Lucky. I think he's supposed to play his friend in it. I could be wrong, but I remember Jack Benny popped up somewhere when I was reading about movies with Cary Grant.
I wouldn't deny that what you read. The only reason why it feels weird to me is at this point when Mr. Lucky comes out, which is around 43, 44, he's doing the horn blows at midnight, which we all know how that turns out, guys. Read your history. But also, he was so enveloped in that radio show at that time and doing war tours and stuff like that he was doing very little film work. And then
maybe he did the radio adaptation. I can't remember. I'd have to look.
That would be more likely. He did a lot of Luck stuff. Like I say, you might be more correct than I am. Cause
I don't know.
Dude, hey, spoiler alert. Ronald Reagan was considered to play Rick in Casablanca, guys. Did you all know that? Because they had a roster full of guys that they wanted for any movie.
I'd have to look. I remember reading his name, and I tried to remember. I was like, I'm going to tell Zach that.
You're just like, oh yeah, it's Jack Benny. I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
You're just like the rest of America.
Right. So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool, right on. I want to watch Mr. Lucky now.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow
awesome.
it. Let you borrow it. So this week we streamed Triple Frontier. Brad, should people see should they stream Triple Frontier?
I mean, if you're streaming it, it's probably free because you already subscribed to the service, so why not? Like, I don't know. Triple Frontier, I actually spent most of the movie wondering what Triple Frontier meant.
Me too.
Because I couldn't figure it out.
Me either.
I guess the whole story takes place in like 3 different areas of geography.
One's America, one's the jungle, and one's the mountains.
Yes.
And one's the beach.
Yeah, there's a beach at one point, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's hard to, like, I don't know. I guess I'm like, I gotta stop saying like, I guess I'm just kind of over all these like macho stories where like the criminals are like, oh, it's cool because they're stealing or, but they're charismatic characters. I'm like, they're still criminals. Like, why am I supposed to be, you know, it's, yeah, we'll talk about it more in the, it's average.
There you go.
Henry actually recommended this movie to us for this week's show, and here is his actual review.
What's up, nerds? It's Henry. I thought I'd give you a quick call-in. I was supposed to be on this episode, but I wasn't able to just for work reasons. But I thought I'd give you my opinions on Triple Frontier, a film that I actually, unfortunately, I was the one who kind of convinced the group to watch it. It's very good, and unfortunately I can't really talk about it in depth, but I thought I'd give my quick thoughts on it. I really liked it. I've been following J.C. Chandor's career for a little bit. He's the director. And he's always able to get really good performances out of his actors. His other films include A Most Violent Year, All Is Lost, Margin Call. And so where his films, I think, the story-wise, isn't always the best, or it's kind of just dense or just not easy to understand or easy to kind of get through, I think he's really able to get that performance out of the actor, and I think that's something that he really succeeds in this film. I think his work with, specifically, I mean, obviously Oscar Isaac is great in the film. I think the writing isn't amazing, but I think they all do their best job with it, and I think they all give pretty good performances. But I think the takeaway is that Ben Affleck is amazing in this film, and I think I'm really excited that we finally got a really good performance out of him that's not Batman. I think this is probably his best performance since Gone Girl, which was around 5 years ago. And now that he's not in the Batman franchise anymore, unfortunately, I think it gives him time to do more of these kind of indie and more substance-based roles and maybe more directorial type stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought he was just really good about it. I thought the story was pretty good. I thought a lot of the shootout stuff was actually really nice of it. Charlie Hunnam's not my favorite, but I thought he was okay in it as well. But yeah, I think it's a great ensemble piece. If you're kind of looking for that kind of like Sicario-esque kind of feel, it's not as good as Sicario, obviously, but that Sicario-esque kind of feel, I think you can find it in this film. And it's on Netflix, so it's an easy enough watch. It's a film that I think would have been cool to see in theaters, but I'm not a purist like Zach. I'm pretty okay if the theater experience dies for the most part. But anyway, Triple Frontier. That's what I thought about it. I hope you guys liked it as well, and I can't wait to hear what you guys thought. Bye.
Thanks, Henry. You know what? I just realized this movie is kind of actually the plot of The Fellowship of the Ring. Instead of the ring, it's a hoard of cash.
Zach?
Yeah, again, I always have the caveat with streaming films, like you're not investing much at all, so go ahead and watch it if you really feel like it. I'm a little more optimistic about it than Brad. Like my Letterboxd, I gave it 3.5 stars, and there's a caveat that like it has the potential to go up because it starts off really boring for me, and then halfway through it does something that I really appreciated, but I don't know if I love it. So, I mean, Affleck's fine in it. Oscar Isaac, I think, is the main reason to watch the film. He's great in the film, and it's shot pretty well. So yeah, I'd go check it out. Why not? It's not as good as Sicario, which is the way it kind of feels like it's pitching it to me. So, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm in kind of your same boat. It's like I thought the beginning of it, the first 2/3 were really awesome, and where Sicario had a purpose at the end, I almost feel like this one didn't.
Yeah.
But I think Ben Affleck was really good in it. Oscar Isaacs is really great in it. I think all the dudes in there are pretty solid.
Oh yeah, I think they're fine. Yeah,
but yeah, and Brad's right. It's like they're bad dudes. I mean, I can't really get behind them too much because their goal is to get lots of money, and that.
I appreciate that scene where Ben Affleck says, like, this is your chance to get out. Like, make no mistake, what we're doing is criminal.
Yeah, they're fully aware of what they're doing.
So they're not glorifying it.
Yeah.
Should we
the writer is a dude who wrote Zero Dark 30, and I really like.
Well,
that
he
movie.
did the story. We'll talk about that because it's just the guy. He just did the story, and then I guess J.C. Chandor did a rewrite or something.
Cool. Here's the trailer. Is there a trailer for this movie? Probably.
There's probably a Netflix trailer.
Yeah, here it is. Boom. Ooh, Ben Affleck, I gotta shoot people.
Bum bum. Only on Netflix.
First things first. Any man here that wants to walk away can do so knowing they're the best of us. But it's gotta be now. There is no ground support. The injuries we sustained, we're walking out with. Make no mistake about it. You guys need to own the fact that we do not have the flag on our shoulders. You cannot go back to your normal life after tonight.
Everything we've done for the last 17 years with nothing to show for it. You've been shot 5 times for your country, and you can't even afford to send your kids to college. If we had accomplished half the things that we've accomplished in any other profession, we'd be set for life. I'm your masters of war. The question is, do we finally get to use our skills for our own benefit? We're gonna get Gabriel Martin Larrea. He's got over $75 million in cash.
If we're not gone forever after you make your move, we are dead.
We need to hunt quickly.
You cannot think they will find us!
It's always a little harder than you think it's gonna be.
We don't leave margins like that!
This is not what I signed up for.
A lot of people are gonna come after you.
So we go through.
So, Triple Frontier, I have no idea what it means, but it's a story.
Well, first you're in the United States, and then you're in the jungle, and then you're in the mountains.
But then they're on the beach. That's Quadruple Frontier.
Damn it. We need to retitle this film, guys. Go to Netflix headquarters.
Send us an email if you know why it's called Triple Frontier. Anyways, Oscar Isaacs is like a U.S. government guy stationed in Central America, South America.
No, I think he's Mexican police.
Is he Mexican police?
Well, yeah,
so.
He was.
That shootout at the beginning.
It makes
awesome.
it sound like he was former contracted, like military ops guy.
There's ex-military dudes who find out that there's a drug lord who has lots of money in his house, and so instead of turning the money over to the DEA, Oscar Isaacs is like, "No, I'm going to get all my friends. and We're going to go rob him."
Well, initially they're going to scout it reconnaissance to then bring to the DEA,
That's right.
and then they'll take 25% of the take because. The way you raid things, I guess. I don't know. But then they're just like, well, why 25% when we could take 100%? And then that's when it becomes more than just a reconnaissance job for them.
Yeah, and then they go in there and have the sweeping of the home and steal all the money, but then they have all this money. It creates lots of problems for them because, one, they steal too much, so the helicopter's having a hard time flying, which leads to it crashing in a village. And then they end up killing the villagers because they're yelling and screaming and not doing what they ask. Actually, the villagers are taking their money, so they feel justified in shooting.
And they work for the drug boss in some capacity.
Yeah, because they're cocaine plants.
Yeah, they're growing cocaine or the beans or whatever.
And then they have to get across the Andes Mountains to the ocean,
the coastline to get to the boat.
Yep.
Which when that helicopter crashes is when I get interested in this film because the first hour of this film is things going all too smoothly.
Well, the thing is so they have to lose all this weight, and they have something like $295 million.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it pays off in the end. I mean, how much money do you fucking need?
Yeah.
I would cut $100 million so I wouldn't die.
I appreciate how, as they go along in their journey, they're getting rid of money gradually until it finally ends with, we can't keep any of this money. Let's toss it into a crevice in the mountain.
Yeah, because so Ben Affleck is going through a divorce, and he's kind of
He's a failed realtor.
Yeah, so he's working with his daughter, drops her off at school
Because no one wants to buy a house from Batman.
And the kind of the impetus for everything is like Oscar Isaac's argument is like, we've given a lot to our country, and like here you are, you can't land a job, like, what about our piece?
Yeah, your standard betrayed by his government.
Yeah,
or their government.
And then Ben Affleck ends up dying, which was shocking.
Yeah, and I appreciated that.
But I didn't
appreciate it.
I didn't like the shot though, because they show the guy coming up from behind him, and then the reaction shot of Affleck's like, huh? And there's this beat where he gets shot. I mean, if he's like some sweet badass army dude, as soon as he realizes the dude's behind him, he just starts shooting.
Because he didn't see it coming. But
well, you just don't stand there and look at a guy. They were just in a gunfight, though.
See, it looked weird at first, and then I realized what I was like. One of the reasons I was liking this movie turns into the Treasure of the Sierra Madre halfway through, and I really appreciated that. Now, does that mean you do the shot the way you did it with Ben Affleck? No, but
it was shot weird. And I mean,
he might have also been like suspecting that might have been one of his own guys first,
or that maybe he could talk him down.
It sounded like they lost track of.
That's bad tactics. If you're being shot at and someone's coming at you, just shoot him.
Well, at this point,
and why does he care? He's already murdered a bunch of people in the town. I really enjoyed the movie, and then I kind of lost it at the end. Mm-hmm. So they have that part, and then they're trying to get away from these kids that the drug dealers have obviously paid off, and then Oscar Isaacs all of a sudden has a conscience. He's saying, "I'm not going to kill anybody else." It's just weird.
Well, from the get-go, they were like, we're only going to kill the main drug guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what I think Charlie Hunnam was like, from the get-go, no civilians. Like, we weren't going to...
No civilians, none of the family of the drug cartel leader. Like, they commit to only the drug leader and his bodyguards that are still in the
I know,
house.
I get it, but if you're trying to get away and they're shooting at you, I mean...
But
it's weird.
Well, that's...
Well, you can't blanket, like, they don't know who's who in that town. Like, obviously it was easier to tell because they started chasing him, but...
Yeah.
What I find interesting about it is, like, all the things that they do... Everything... What I find interesting about the first half, because I don't really like the first half, is that, though, everything's so planned out that when it moves as efficiently as it does make sense, but then what I like is, like, everything's laid out to where... The things that do go wrong are the things they don't plan for, and then that ends up being their downfall by the very end.
Really, if you're smart, you each could just take a duffel bag full of money.
But greed overcomes them, which is why I think this movie turns into the Treasure of the Sierra Madre halfway through it.
And I do like the scene where Affleck is talking to the girlfriend of Oscar Isaacs, and he says, "Now this part's really important." I think he's really good at that part because he has this.
I thought he was going to kill her at that.
Yeah,
point.
He has this definite darkness to him that you need.
But like, because at that point, actually, one of my favorite shots in the film is when they're just burning money because they need to stay warm, and they're just like laughing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, like I hate to say it a third time, but like rewatch Treasure of Sierra Madre, and like this film almost tries to do it, and it almost gets away with it, but then it doesn't because it has a great amount of machismo that I didn't necessarily need.
I mean, it's one of the few Netflix films that I've watched recently that I've liked.
I've liked other stuff, but this is the one that's the most like accessible to a mainstream audience, I think. And definitely one that looks like it could have been in a theater. I actually would have loved to see this in a theater for some of the the establishing shots they do of the country that they're in, because like it was Brazil or
South America.
Like it just looks beautiful. And J.C. Shandor, who has made some great films, whether it's A Most Violent Year or All Is Lost, like he knows how to shoot stuff really well.
Yeah.
So
it's well made.
I mean, again, it's fine on Netflix. It looks fine on my TV. So, the ending was a little whatever. So I'm sure I'll see some direct to streaming knockoffs that have nothing to do with the initial cast, but. The script, though, I wonder what Mark Bowles' version would have been, because Mark Bowl, I think he's fine for what he does with Catherine Bigelow, but I don't find him to be the
She's a
strongest
producer on this too.
Yeah, but I don't find him to be the strongest part of a Catherine Bigelow project. So I'm wondering like how much of the script J.C. Chandor had to change.
I don't know.
So
you can stream it.
Yeah,
It's
you can
fun.
stream it. It's fine.
At the end, did Charlie Hunnam give him a list of the coordinates to where they dumped the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which the actual coordinates are apparently to a wildlife sanctuary in Peru. So
I don't know why you know that.
Because I read an interview with J.C. Chandor. So.
But yeah, also at the time I was like, I feel like these guys could easily just come back with the proper plane and pick it up. So stuff like that kind of irked me.
Yeah, and because I would. You're like, F it. Let's get a right helicopter and we'll pick it up.
Yep.
Well,
and Affleck still be alive.
Yep.
Well, guys, Quadruple Frontier has been confirmed. Then we'll get the crossover into the Sicario universe, and it'll be Drugland.
It'd have been better if Emily Blunt was in it because she'd just shoot people and go, "What the fuck is going on?"
Part of the plot is Oscar Isaac getting Emily Blunt to come out of retirement to take down Benicio del Toro.
Plenty of space for 2 prequels, Single Frontier and Double Frontier.
Have I mentioned I love Emily Blunt ever? Is this on?
What? What are you talking about?
Is this on?
Wait, you like that actress from that Tom Cruise movie that no one saw?
I know. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I don't know. You're crazy. I heard she's married to some guy from The Office.
Next week we're seeing Us.
I got 5 on it.
Which is getting really great reviews.
And I heard they put. I haven't listened to it yet, but they put out the I Got 5, the creepy version of I Got 5 on it, which I want to wait until after I've seen the movie before I listen to it. I don't know why I'm getting.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Remember, you can see us live at the Bug Theater May 6th. You can also catch us at Denver Pop Culture Con. We will be there in our own booth, 102, May 31st through June 2nd. Come by, say hi.
We'll be selling an exclusive glass
that's
this year.
Right. A really cool glass.
I
and
lost
non-exclusive
my glasses.
T-shirts.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But yes, you can get your exclusive pint glass of the Real Nerds.
There will only be 48 available, and I'm sure the 5 of us will take 2 of each of those before the con, so even less than that.
I'll take 1, and then I want our fans to have them.
We would have had 50, but I peed into 2 of them on accident. So
I need an extra just in case one breaks.
That's fine.
Because they are 100% pure glass.
Yes. So,
find
that stuff. Say hi to us. Thanks for watching movies. Thanks for listening. We are the Real Nerds. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.